So may I introduce our next keynote speaker? They will be talking about maximizing training ROI, transforming training from cost center to competitive advantage. This session will be conducted by Mr. Suresh Kumar, DN, Tesseract Learning. Let me give a small brief about so. Mr. Suresh Kumar DN is the CEO of Tesseract Learning, a leader in digital learning solutions, including the award-winning custom e-learning solution, Credo Learning Platform, and Prodient.io authoring tool. With over 20 years of extensive experience, Mr. Suresh excels at transforming organizational learning through innovative content and scalable technology. Renowned for his expertise in business development and client success, Mr. Suresh partners with global enterprises to solve complex learning challenges, passionate about unlocking human potential through impactful learning. He also enjoys wildlife and bird photography, bringing curiosity and focus to both nature and learning. With this, everyone, let's bring in some energy and let's welcome Sir with some energy into the room. Let's give a huge round of applause. And may I invite Mr. Suresh Kumar. Sir, please join us on the dais, please.
There's always some small technical glitch, right, before anything starts. So I think it's a pleasure for me to be talking in front of L&D leaders, HR leaders, right, after sessions from, after a session of Tripti, I think I may have lost because I'm still analyzing some of the things what she shared as to how exactly a large entity like JLL managed to build a learning culture, right? And this is a topic that I picked up, right? This is because based on my experience, what we have seen, customers either use learning platforms or learning solutions to prepare reports to make the submission than trying to see how much the impact it has, right? So taking that as the cue is where I just build on what I want to cover today, right? And so based on the research, what has happened is because organizations where they have seen where they implement training programs, but however, the learners say that's only 12% is what they're able to utilize the knowledge what they have get, but majority of the others, which is almost 74% of the people consider lack of development because they are unable to apply the learning on the job, right? This is a global research which has been made, and based on this global research, what they have found is that it is almost costing $1.2 million. This at the global scale for every 1,000 people. So considering this as the backdrop, where I want to just move forward as to what could be the training problems, right? So based on your experience, what do you think, why, because I have a couple of points captured, what could be the challenges if people are unable to apply the learning? Anything that anyone wants to say? What could be probably reasons your training programs may not be effective or impact or creating the right impact? Anybody can go with. Okay, then I'll go with what I have captured, right? It could be probably because, okay, I'll use so it is boring, long drawn, because that's what would happen, only calendar driven and not relevant to the job and not creating an impact. So I'll try to summarize for people sitting here because I know there's a gap in the visibility. I think we'll definitely do that. Okay, so as part of our training strategy, what we have seen is majority of the times we expect the learner to learn like similar to what we may have learned cycling or swimming, right? That I train them, next day we expect them to become an expert, isn't it? Majority of the time that's what is the approach that we take, because I have a training, take it and you're ready to job, and this is the result. Predominantly that's what would happen, right? So how do you now build this so that it is able to create the right impact, right? Or maybe I think you would have realized that some of your trainings may be in a similar approach, right? So how do we now build from here to make something which could be useful? Is in this, I think we have been all talking about AI, right? So there is definitely a lot of effort which is put into strategizing, planning, and delivering training programs, cost, everything which is put in. So majority of times we do encounter, right? To provide training, get the best of the faculty, best of the e-learning programs being gamified or AR, VR, right? This is what happens. That is because learners at times are unable to remember, recall, so that they are unable to apply on the job. So that the moment they are unable to apply it on the job, no impact, right? All the training costs goes waste. So this because I think we are all familiar, right? Because naturally we all carry forgetting curve. Maybe it's sometimes good. Because of that, we are able to have a peaceful sleep, isn't it, right? If we start remembering everything, what has happened through the day, I think it becomes a challenge. So because of this forgetting curve, how do we overcome this challenge, right? How do we help learners remember the training so that it can have positive impact, and how do we maximize the training investment that we are making? So what can be done? These are some of, it's not that it covers everything, but this is some of the aspects that I thought of just sharing, where as long as it's a part of a continuous learning, right, that they are able to learn, build on that on a continuous basis, so that they are able to remember, apply that learning, which aligns to their work. And definitely hybrid learning is required. We can't say that it's only classroom training, it's only digital that will work. But how we are able to combine every mode of learning modality that is available becomes that much easier and impactful. And remediating the learning gaps. If you find that there is a gap in the learning, and if you are able to remediate that immediately, what happens? If I'm making a mistake, somebody can correct me, then it's easy for me to take that corrective step immediately than maybe somebody telling me after maybe tomorrow or day after, right? Sometimes I would have forgotten that I would have made a mistake like that. So something like that, and definitely use the immersive technologies, be it AR, VR, or gamified experiences to engage people becomes very important and critical, so that it is able to create the best impact. And we all know we need, because it cannot be that one training that I have delivered and it will create the impact, right? It has to be with how do I help someone remember that the training so that they are able to recall that and apply. It's not that somebody has taken a training for 1 hour, they need to be taking again it for 1 hour. It's definitely not. So what could be some of those aspects, right? So delivering reinforcement is important, right? Be it after your classroom trainings, right? If, say maybe after a training program, if they have a day-long program, right? People definitely forget. Yes, we give them a handout for them to remember, but most of the times people will not even refer to that. So how do we help someone remember the training after it's delivered, be it classroom, virtual training, or e-learning, is important. That has to be part of the training, training initiatives, and building that learning culture within the organization. I think these are some of the things which Tripti did cover as to how you are helping someone where training is part of that and also helps them grow with their career. So as long as if that is aligned, irrespective of the industry, be it IT or I think he was talking about agriculture, right? Everyone wants to grow in their career. And how do we align that the training is one of the key catalysts for someone to grow in their career. It's not that just because I'm doing some work today, that will automatically help me to move to the next level, right? Unless I'm able to learn or build new skills, or there's something which is helping me to enrich my knowledge, I will not be able to move forward. So this is something which is important and critical. And this strategy is something that we have seen working for global companies. We have heard from Tripti also in the morning, right? So how do we drive this continuous learning? Yes, use your existing systems or bring in systems which can help you to drive that engagement. Promote learning that aligns to the daily work. Yes, we cannot give it literally. When I say daily, it doesn't mean that every day, right? But there are some industries, some of our customers who do that on a daily basis. Small nudge which goes to them, tell about, particularly it works really good when there's loads of frontline teams or people working in retail. It does help them just to remember key aspects that they should ensure that they follow. And anything that we do has to be mobile first, right? So because we encounter where customers say, no, it's all, we use PCs, right? And people will do that if they are in the office. The moment they are out, even if they have free time or somebody is traveling, there's no opportunity for them to implement that. So this is something that becomes important and critical, and remediating those learning gaps as and when it occurs, right? And that's where it becomes easier to drive reinforcement. Either there are a couple of strategies, which is space learning or using memory boosters, right? So as an entity, yes, we do offer a learning platform called Credo. In a platform where somebody takes a training, they get a memory booster after a week. We can push literally reinforcements after at different periodicity, be it daily, weekly, fortnightly, monthly, quarterly. You can define what we need to be done. So that automatically comes in, it gets triggered, and they get to spend that. It could be a 1 minute, 30-second videos, 1 minute micro learning module or 2 minute micro learning modules to reiterate that becomes easier. And also we have an authoring tool built in within the platform. What it does, it is able to remediate the gaps. See, typically what happens when we are taking, say when we have knowledge check questions in between, if somebody goes wrong, the typical answer is we ask them to try it again. Because there is no opportunity for them to, how do they correct themselves? Because if it's a single choice, somehow they'll make multiple attempts, they get it right. If it's a sorting example, unless it has to be sorted correctly, they will never go through. That means there are a couple of reasons why learners may not be able to answer that. That is either they have not understood the content, or they are unable to, they have not spent time, because of that they are unable to recall. That happens even in a classroom training. So how do we help someone if the moment there's a gap that we have seen? Okay, just to maybe I'll just play that again for you to just. So if they go wrong, we just, there's an option where if somebody goes wrong, they can just click on a relearn button and they can learn the content about that question automatically. So that's something that which is feasible within the platform like Credo. I'm sure it should be available with your systems too. So what could be a good rollout strategy? Because any training that we roll out, right? How many times we think like a marketeer? How many agree on this, that L&D professionals are really good marketeers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5, because it was half, right? So because what happens most of the times, we have a training program, we just push it out. We don't create awareness, we don't create curiosity, why somebody should take the program, how it will help them. So that is where, this is just to illustrate an example of one of the projects that we did for a global giant, where before the program was created, we created an emailer campaign, right? So that it creates awareness. And after some time, we created a teaser as to why this program is relevant. And the time gap, the color code tells the time that this was done in the first month, because it was almost 19,500 people spread across 52 countries who had to take this. So then we had an e-learning module, which was an introduction. This was a phase of multiple modules which were there. And then there was a reinforcement which was pushed out. Before that, there was a classroom training, because they had to attend in the respective countries, a classroom training or virtual training. And a reinforcement which was pushed, because to literally reiterating some of the key aspects which they can take. And an advanced e-learning module was delivered, and a learning circle was created, because it was part of a global rollout, because there was a big breach. They had to ensure that everyone really are complied. So we had to take a slightly longer duration than a typical e-learning program, right? It was a 4-month duration that they had to push. And they could discuss, seek clarity. So like similar to, may not be straight-shaped mentorship ways, but and then again a reinforcement was pushed out, and then a larger reinforcement which was pushed out in the beginning of the 4th month, where they could recall the entire training program. So what they had seen, after this, the incident started literally tapering down significantly as compared to what it was before the program was implemented. So this is something that can be done. And also what we have to ensure is anything that we deliver, because normally when there is e-learning or classroom training or reinforcement, they all run in individual silos, right? There is nothing where learners are able to connect. So this is just an example where an e-learning module was created for this customer, and then there is a classroom training which was also aligned to the branding guidelines, because that is important and critical, because learners should be able to align as to what is the program all about, because once there's no connect, becomes very difficult for them to align. And then even the reinforcement, I think I have to use. So even the reinforcement was something which was built so that learners are able to recall the entire training, be it classroom or e-learning, becomes easier. And in addition to this, yes, gamified and AR, VR does help. This is just to give a glimpse as an entity. We work with global customers creating really very engaging e-learning modules. This is just an example that something like this could trigger, because in the modern world we are competing against what? Instagrams, right, or Reels. So how do we hold learners' attention is something which is important. Unless it is really impactful, people will not spend time. And this is just an VR example where how do we hold that learner's attention? I think the attention span of the latest modern learners is what? 7 seconds as per the research. So in 7 seconds we have to train them, make them upskill, reskill so that they can do their job better. It's a big challenge with the L&D fraternity. You all carry big responsibilities, right? So this just to give an example, just a couple of examples what we could do, what I could show off, right? And so now going back to the question, how do we ensure that you train somebody like this person who has learned cycling over a period of time and able to cycle, right, on a continuous basis? And we know we are now closer to 2015 than we were close to 2000, right? As per, we have just crossed that threshold, right? And now, and technology and expectations are changing literally every month, right, with all the AI. So then why should your learning strategies should be something which is what we used to do maybe 25 years ago or 15 years ago, right? Literally static learning structures, everything everyone gets, right? That's what happens, right? Everyone have the same training, irrespective of the time management for senior executives to managers to entry level developers is all same, right? Because it has to be different, because the time management for different people has to be different. So how do you make that happen and not personalized? And sometimes people just use only on the laptops, right? How do you make it more mobile friendly courses? How do you become maybe future proof? Okay, so definitely AI powered skill aligned learning journeys is required today, whether we like or otherwise. We need to embrace AI, right? It is only complement our jobs. Mobile first, definitely experience has to be great, gamified experiences. Mobile learning is something which has to be there, because we will not have people who can sit for 60 minutes or 90-minute e-learning programs. Gone are those days. Classroom training itself is slowly coming down. Like I may not have 6 hours of training, I'll have 3 hours only a day, right? So, and evolve with the changing need at a rapid pace, right? So when you're talking about rapid pace, I have a curious question. So you all build one way or the other e-learning programs, either in-house or through a partner. How fast can you create a course? So maybe a 10-minute module, let us just take that. What is the fastest way, a fastest duration to create a course? 20 days. Who can beat that? 20 days is what, or somebody takes more than that? 10 days, okay. Okay. So how do you create an instructionally sound, visually engaging, interactive and multilingual course in 3 minutes? Do you want to experience that right now? Okay, let's go ahead. Okay, this is Credo, which is our platform, wherein I can create a course where it can generate content and create instructional sound course. Okay, how do I get? Okay, I have to just screen chahiye again. A browser hai. Okay, thank you. Okay. So while I can't give full-fledged demo, I have what, the 4.5 minutes. So I have to complete and move away from this dais. So I'm asking the AI which is built in to create a course for me. Any topic? I'll leave it to any topic that you want, or shall I pick up a topic? stakeholder management, fantastic. And who are the audience for this? Mid to senior managers. Okay. So I'll choose the language as English, while I can take 80 plus languages as my base language. It can create courses literally in any language. So maybe intermediate to start with. So duration, I'll just take it as 10 minutes for now, so that it can create faster, because I'm depending on not so great e-learning. So what it does is, based on these prompts, what it's currently doing is it's creating learning objectives. So I can, and if somebody wants to time as to how fast it can create a course, means I'm going to time and do that, right? So it is creating a learning objective the way I would do, or any instructional designer, content developer will do. It is just maybe another 10-15 seconds. It should just appear. I should have a decent internet. Okay. Please. Will not create a video, it will not create a video right now, okay. But what it does, it says identify key stakeholders and assess their impacts on project outcomes, develop strategies for engaging stakeholders in alignment with project goals. Good enough to start with? Okay. So maybe add a couple of questions, so maybe 3. So once I give this prompt, it says, okay, start creating the course. I'm just timing it now. So what it does, to answer your question, it is creating your table of content, okay. And what it's also doing is, as it creates, once it is done, it starts mapping that content in the right side for every item in the left side. In the journey, what it also does, it picks up templates to make it interactive. It also adds images. Once this is done, the entire green screen will have an image also at the end. Then what it also does, I will be able to edit everything which is on the screen. I will be able to add images. I can add or update images, okay. I can add videos. I can add additional content if I want to. So all those things, so it's around a minute now, okay. So another 30 seconds it should be done. So I thought it will take at least 3 minutes. It's faster than that. So this is what real time, and this is what it's mapping. It's an interactivity. I'll not touch now. I want it to first finish this entire exercise. So Create as a platform means, yes, like any other systems, you can plan your classroom training, virtual trainings, e-learnings, assessments, skill-based learning that can be pushed through multiple catalog providers, which is integrated. You can run quizzes, assignments, like somebody can. So this is 1 minute, 25 seconds. The course is ready. And this is a fully responsive course that learners can access. I can make any changes to the content, okay. Something like this. I can also see how it is visible on a phone, okay. So I can navigate, I can make any changes. So this is how interactive it could be. And I can proudly say, this is literally industry first globally. There is no platform which can come close to what we can do. You would have experienced AI authoring, that is predominantly text, image, and maximum couple of questions. So we are talking about highly impactful course created by AI. I'll just take a minute extra, okay. So this is something which is feasible. Yes, to just summarize, this is a platform that we proudly offer. We have customers now across around 10 countries. So this is a new thing which has come up, while there are several other features which does help to Creator to stand out. So I have a booth, my colleagues are around. So if you want to talk, I'm definitely available. I know I don't have time for any questions. If there, maybe can take one question? Yes. Sorry? No, we can replace that. it can work along with that. So that's what, yes, of course. So it can work with any HRMS, any large enterprise LMSs that you may have where you think it is using dated look and feel. I know you need mini army to manage. So we have customers with almost 20,000 people. They have 3 people in the L&D who manage the show for them globally. That's how light the platform is. Admin side is that much easier, right? So, and including the questions, I think at the end, the questions are here, right? And it also choose which is the right or wrong answer. So I can add audio, I can translate them into 80 plus languages, including popular 9 languages of India, which is all click of a button. It can translate the same course in any language in literally less than 90 seconds. So that's what is. I had a couple of slides in my deck. I think I'll not go there, but I think I've concluded. So any questions, I'll definitely take it offline. So thank you very much for all your time and appreciate patiently listening. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. Everyone, let's give Sir a huge round of applause. Let's have the energy back into the room. And may I invite Ms. Trupti, ma'am, can we have you on the dais? Please join in and present a small token of appreciation to Mr. Suresh Kumar.
We were talking about reinforcement, right? So there's, I think you would find something in your bags that were given. And a reinforcement of my session is right behind that. Okay, so this is one of the ways we help customers to reinforce their learnings. Thank you.
So please, in the center, please.